Hello everyone, welcome to the class. In this session, previously we discussed the block diagram of computer, functional units of a computer. They may ask you like explain the functional components of a computer, working of each unit. You have to write this diagram with explanation I have given already. Okay. So now we are moving on evaluation of computers. Evaluation of man and mankind has helped to invent a calculating tool. Early men used stones, sticks, fingers, pebbles, and quarries to count. So they are used stones, right? They don't know the number 1, 2, 3, and all. They don't know. So with the help of stones, they are calculating. With the fingers also, they are calculating. Pebbles with the quarries to count. Even today, we calculate using our fingers. Correct? Even today, we are using our fingers to count. The limitations of the 10 fingers, 10 toes apparently caused early man to construct a tool for calculation. So, more than 10, 100, thousands of calculations if we want to perform, we require some tools. So, every civilization have contributed calculating tool in their own methods and design. So, this is one of the abacus. We have seen abacus. This is a diagram. So, it contains frames. This is bar. This is bar. This is unit point and upper beads. These are the upper beads. These are the lower beads. These are the lower beads. This is rod. It is connected to these beads are connected to rod. These are the rods. Okay, na? This is a abacus. So in this abacus is the first known calculating machine used for counting. This is the first machine implemented for counting. It is made up of beads. These are the beads. See, you can see here. These are the beads. These are the beads. These are the beads. These are the beads. Okay. So it is made up of beads strung on cords and is used for simple arithmetic calculations. It is used. Beads sting on cords. Cords means rods. On rods, beads strings are created. Okay. The cords correspond to positions of decimal digits. The cords means rods are positions of the decimal digits. Okay, na? The beads represents digits. This represents digits. Rods represent decimal digits. Okay. Numbers are represented by beads close to the crossbar, heaven and earth, like that. Abacus was mainly used for addition, subtraction, later for division and multiplication. This explanation is enough for this abacus. Okay. So Napier bones. This is the Napier bones. So in the Napier bones was invented by John Napier, Scottish mathematician, as in aid to multiplication. So multiplication for require one particular tool. The tool it will be worked for multiplication. Napier bones. A set of bones consisted of 9 rods. See, you can see 9 rods. Total 9 rods. Total 9 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 rods. This is including this one, 9 rods. Okay. A set of bones consists of 9 rods, one for each digit 1 through 9, and a constant rod, the digit is 0. Rod is smaller to one column of multiplication table. See, this is what? 9. See, 1 to 9. 1 to 9. See, you can observe here. This is one first rod, second rod, third rod, fourth rod, fifth rod, sixth rod, seventh rod, eighth rod, ninth rod. Okay, na? See, the Napier bones was invented by John Napier, Scottish mathematician, as aid to multiplication. A set of bones consists of 9 rods. These are 9 rods, and one for each digit 1 through 9. See, 1 to 9. Okay. 1 through 9, and a constant rod for the digit 0. The constant rod for the digit 0. Normally constant rod will be there. This might be the constant rod. This will be the 0th rod. Okay. A rod is similar to one column of a multiplication table. Like a multiplication table, it is like one multiplication table. Two multiplications. See, 2 2 4, 2 2 2 2 2 ja 2, 2 2 ja 4, 2 2 3 ja 6, 2 3 ja 8, like that. Okay. 4 4 2 ja 8, 4 3 ja 12, like that. Okay. So constant rod for the digit 0. A rod is similar to one column of a multiplication table. So that is what Napier bones. Write this explanation. If possible, write this diagram. If not possible, not required. Okay. And AD slide rule. This is a AD slide rule. Slide rule was invented by William Oughtred. It is based on principle that actual distance from the starting point of the rule is directly proportional to the logarithm of the numbers printed on the rule. Here in this, logarithms will be printed, that will be proportional to the logarithmic of the numbers printed on the rule. The slide rule is embodied by the two sets of scales. This is one scale, this is another scale. Okay, are joined together. You can see the scale is joined with this scale, right? Joined with together with the marginal space between them. The suitable alliance of two scales enabled the slide rule to perform multiplication and division by the method addition and subtraction. This is also used for addition and subtraction. You can write any 2 points, it is enough. So adding machine and Pascal, this is the most important machine. So this is developed by Blaise Pascal. Invented the first mechanical calculator in 1641. Pascaline. It was named as Pascaline. Blaise Pascal invented by this device. Pascaline. It had a box with 8 movable wheels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 movable wheels called dials. These are called dials. The number for calculations were entered with the dials. With these dials, we are numbering, calculation will be done. It could add or subtract, divide and multiply numbers as big as 1000. Thousands also we can able to calculate it. Okay. It was using simple components such as gears and levels. This is a gears and levels. This is a predecessor today electronic calculator. This is like a today's electronic calculator. It will be working based on this principle. Okay. He was inspired by the computation work of his father, Job, and devised the model. He was only 19-year-old when he devised this model. So in Blaise Pascal invented his model when he was in 19 years old. Okay, this is Pascaline. This device is called Pascaline. So again, Leibniz calculator. Mathematical Gottfried Leibniz built a calculator in 1650 that could add, subtract, multiply, and divide the numbers. This is what rotating wheel calculator, Leibniz. So this Blaise Pascal invented this mechanical calculator Pascaline. He will be developed by the Leibniz. Generally, he will be developed by the by the Leibniz. Okay, now Gottfried von Leibniz. So Jacques-Loom concept in 1801. Jacques-Loom invented the power loom, that is used punched wooden cards. These are punched wooden cards to automatically wave incredibly detailed patterns including pictures and text. Pictures, see this is a picture, and a text, some text. In order to print, he implemented loom concept. Okay, this can be taken as a first read-only memory device. This is a first read-only memory device invented by Jacques-Loom. Okay, this is 1801. Jacques-Loom implemented this device. Charles Babbage, the difference engine. He is the father of the computer. He implemented two devices, difference engine and analytical engine. Charles Babbage, British mathematician and engineer, designed an automatic calculating machine in 1822. He called it a different engine. This automatic calculating engine is also called as a difference engine. This is called difference engine. Later he thought of mechanical construction, which was known as a mechanical digital computer. Babbage called this analytical engine. Further it will be developed and it will be named as analytical engine. Babbage called as a analytical engine, called this analytical engine. This analytical engine consisted five units, which became the basic principle for the development of modern computers. Now, presently, we are using all modern computers. That modern computers basic principality based upon this concept developed by the Charles Babbage. Hence, Charles Babbage also called as father of computer. So, why we are named him as a father of computer? Based upon his principles only, present modern computers are working. Okay, that's why he's a father of computer. Okay, so first programmer. So we have some C++ programs, some Java programs. We have some programs. So first program is implemented by Lady Ada Lovelace. So this is a most important question asked by the Pew board. So they may ask you who are first programmer. Ada Lovelace, Lady Ada Lovelace. You have to mention. She is the Lady Ada Lovelace. Lady Ada Lovelace, her mathematical genius, came to light most strongly in her work with Charles Babbage. So not required this sort of explanation. You just know this information. Babbage was pathway to the process of designing the first mechanical computer. She started writing the first computer algorithm. She has written some computer algorithms, and she predicted that later computers will have the ability to do the more than mathematical calculation. More than mathematical calculation can be done. She predicted. Okay, na? So Lady Ada Lovelace is the first programmer. Who is the first programmer? Lady Ada Lovelace. So Hollerith tabulating machine. This is a Hollerith tabulating machine. An American named Herman Hollerith invented a counting machine to count the population of USA. So generally, in population of USA, we require they were used one machine that is called Hollerith tabulating machine. This electronic machine is able to read the information on punched cards and process it. So read the information, taking the information with the help of punched cards and process it. And process it means it will operate. It will publish the results electronically. It was one of the main electronic. It was the main electronic counting device. It was based on punch cards. It is based on punch cards. Punch cards means taking input device like some type of device they named as punch cards. Herman Hollerith was founder of the company that became famous as IBM. So Herman Hollerith was the founder of the company that became famous as IBM. Now presently we are seeing the company name as IBM, right? That is the founder is Herman Hollerith. Okay. So moving on, we are going into generations of computers. So generations of computers have 5 generations. First generations and second generation. Let me write generations of computers. Generations of. They will ask you explain the generations of computer. Explain generation of the computer. So first generation. Second generation of computer, third generations of computer, and fourth generations of computer, and finally fifth generations of computer. This is the last generation. Fifth generations of computer. This is the last one. Okay, these are various generations of computers. So first generations vacuum tubes are used. Okay, detailed explanation will be discussed in later sessions. So just understand the generations of computer. In generations of computer, the evaluation of electronic computers over a period of time can be traced effectively by dividing this period into various generations, like 1920, 18th century, like 19th century, which generations used. In 19th century have various generations. First generations like 1940 to 1956, the vacuum tubes the most commonly used first generation computer. The first generation computer used vacuum tubes for switching circuits and magnetic drums for memory. Generally magnetic drums for memory and switching circuits for vacuum tubes. These are most commonly used device in first generation 1940 and 1956. They were large in size, occupied a lot of space, and produced enormous amount of heat. So there's a disadvantage in this. It contains large in size, occupied a lot of space. So while writing in examination, write point wise explanation. So don't write paragraph wise. Write point wise. Vacuum tubes, vacuum tubes used for internal operations. Internal operations. This is the first point. Second point what you can write, second point, magnetic drums. Magnetic drums used for memory. Magnetic drums used for memory. Okay, so you can write it produces it produces enormous amount of heat. It produces enormous amount, more number of heat. More enormous also you can write. Enormous means large number of. You can write large number of. Large amount of heat. Large amount of heat. Heat like that. Input was based on punched cards. Input output operation they use punched card. Used punched cards. You can write like this. Use punched cards. Use punched cards for input and output operation. Output operations. So these are four points. Okay now. Paper tapes also used. Paper tapes and output was obtained as a printout. First generation computers could solve only one problem at a time. So you can write another point. First generation computers could solve. You can write could solve only one problem at a time. One problem at a time. Okay, this explanation is enough for first generation of computer. Okay, vacuum tubes used for internal operations, magnetic drums used for memory, and punched cards used for input output operations. It produced large amount of heat and it could solve only one problem at a time. This is explanation for first generation computer. So which year it is implemented? 1940 to 1956. This is implemented. The most commonly used device is vacuum tubes. If they ask you most common device used in first generation of computer, you can mention vacuum tubes. Okay, these are first generations of computer. So second generations of computer, 1956 to 1963, transistors. Most commonly used device in second generation is transistor. These are transistors. 1956 to 1963. So vacuum tubes being replaced by transistors. So you can write the first point. Use transistors for internal operations. Okay, transistor was far superior to the vacuum tubes, allowing computers to become smaller, faster, economical. Okay, vacuum tubes are very large in size. These are very smaller in that. So energy and efficient, more reliable than first generation of computer. The transistor also generated considerably heat that sometimes caused the computers to malfunction also. That is the disadvantage. Okay, in second generation computers moved from use of machine language to assembly languages, which allowed programs to specify instructions in words. High level programming languages were also being developed at this time. So COBOL and Fortran, this will be implemented in this generation. Okay, this is about the second generation of computer. Transistors were used in second generations of computer, and explanation, this explanation is enough for the second generation of computer. And third generation and fourth generation, fifth generation, we will be discussing the later chapter, later sessions. Thank you everyone.